Hi, everybody. My name is Nanika Edwards, and today we'll be looking at an English idiom. Now, what's an idiom? I could give you a very technical dictionary definition, but I prefer not to do that. I don't think it's necessary. I would simply say, in my own words, that an idiom is an interesting way of saying something, usually a very playful way of saying something that everybody knows and that everybody uses in particular situations. That's how I would define an idiom. It's not necessarily, for example, like a proverb. Earlier this year, I shared some proverbs, but an idiom is different. A proverb usually houses or carries some type of advice or a word of wisdom. But an idiom is a little different. It's not necessarily trying to teach somebody something, it's not necessarily trying to give you or me a piece of advice. An idiom is something we use to make what we're saying more interesting and more memorable, more playful. So that's how I would define an idiom. And now that we know what an idiom is, let's get on with our lesson. And what have we here? Can you guess what this is? That's right, it's a cake, a birthday cake. So, of course, today's idiom has something to do with cake. A piece of cake. That's the idiom, a piece of cake. Have you ever heard this before? If you speak English, you probably have. If you don't speak English, well, I don't know. Have you ever heard this idiom before? What does it mean? Can you guess or do you know? A piece of cake. If we say that something is a piece of cake, what does that mean? That's right. It means that something is really easy or easy peasy. Have you ever heard that? Easy peasy. Easy peasy means that something is really, really easy. Easy peasy. Can you say that? Easy peasy. Very good. Now let's say it a little faster. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. All right. And we could even go further and say easy peasy lemon squeezy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that means that is really, 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 really super easy, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So a piece of cake means that something is easy. Easy peasy means that something is easy. And easy peasy lemon squeezy means that something is also easy, right? So they're all interesting and playful ways of saying that something is super easy to do. Now, this is how we typically use the idiom a piece of cake. We would typically say that was, is, or will be a piece of cake. That was, is, or will be a piece of cake. Was, past tense. Is, present tense. Will be, future tense. That was, is, or will be a piece of cake. And depending on the situation, you typically use one of these or maybe some other variation, some other way of using the verb to be. Because the verb here is the verb be. That's the infinitive, the original root form of the verb. So that was, is, or will be a piece of cake. Here are a few examples. I built an ant farm last year. I built an ant farm last year. It was a piece of cake. It was a piece of cake. Learning code is easy. Learning code is so easy. It's a piece of cake. It's a piece of cake. I need to download an app. I need to download an app. I need to download an app. That'll be a piece of cake. That'll be a piece of cake. That will be a piece of cake. That'll be a piece of cake. Typically, if we are speaking with a friend or in a context or situation that is not very formal or that's not very proper, we would typically not say that will. We will make it shorter and say that'll, that'll, that'll. Can you say that? That'll. Now, if you're American, you'll say that'll. The T will sound like a D, and you would say that'll, that'll, that'll be a piece of cake. That'll be a piece of cake. But if you are from another country where people speak English but speak English differently from an American, for example, here in Trinidad, you might faster say that'll be a piece of cake, and you would pronounce the T like a T. Okay, here's another example. I thought that English would have been a piece of cake. Would have been a piece of cake. Would have been a piece of cake. But I was so wrong. I was so wrong. Help! Help me, somebody. Well, for me it is. Well, for me it is. Well, for me it is. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Well, for me it is. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. A piece of cake. A piece of cake. I can help you out, buddy. I can help you out, buddy. I can help you out, buddy. So, now you know how to use a piece of cake. Every opportunity, every chance that you get to use this idiom, please do. Because every time that you use it, it will make it easier for you to remember it and use it naturally without even thinking about it. And then using this idiom will be a piece of cake. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If you enjoyed this video, thank you for giving it a thumbs up. And thank you for subscribing to my channel. Hitting the like button is a piece of cake. easy peasy lemon squeezy. Until next time. Over and out for now.